The vast majority of animals we see every day are common species. Take dogs, for example. There are millions of them, and they can be found all over the world. But there are some animals that we don't come across very often, such as the highly elusive panther. When you hear the word panther, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it a large, powerful, agile cat with a muscular body and a short, thick tail? That's exactly what a panther is. The term panther doesn't refer to a specific species of animal, but rather a color variant within certain species of big cats. In other words, a panther is a melanistic cat, which means that it has a higher concentration of melanin in its fur than other members of its species. This extra melanin makes their fur look darker, sometimes even black. As a result, these cats are sometimes referred to as black panthers. However, this isn't always the case. Some panthers have a brown or gray coat. So which species of big cat can be considered a panther? Well, the answer is for leopards, jaguars, cougars, and lions. Of these four species, the leopard is the most likely to exhibit the panther characteristics due to its high degree of Jaguars can also display panther characteristics, but only in parts of their range. Lastly, lions and cougars can display some level of melanism, but it's extremely rare. As you can probably tell, if you were to encounter a panther in the wild, you'd likely mistake it for another big cat. This is one of the reasons why there's so much confusion surrounding these animals. People often witness them from a distance and in places where multiple species of big cats are present. Take India, for example. Leopards and tigers are both panthers. However, tigers are much larger, have distinctive orange stripes, and are more active during the day, so anyone who's seen a tiger would mistake it for a leopard, even if it was a black panther. However, in regions where only one type of panther exists, such as Florida, where only black panthers can be found, they're relatively easy to identify. Black panthers are typically larger than your average leopard, jaguar, cougar, or lion. They're also more muscular. And although their fur may not always be completely black, it's dark enough to make it difficult to see their natural patterns. Because of this, many people believe that black panthers are actually big cats whose skin has turned black due to some sort of genetic mutation. But this isn't true. Turning black isn't a new adaptation that occurred over time. Instead, it's the result of two recessive genes, one from each parent. For this reason, black panthers tend to have more black panther cubs than any other color variant. So now you know what a panther is, but why are they so rare? Well, as we mentioned earlier, a panther is simply a color variant of certain species of big cats. This means that they are a separate species altogether, and that they can interbreed with other panthers and non-panther big cats. In other words, a black panther can mate with a regular leopard to produce cubs. Since there are no separate populations of panthers, conservation efforts aren't focused on them specifically, which means that we don't have exact numbers for how many exist today. However, because of their elusive nature, many people believe that there are far fewer panthers than any other big cat. And although this may be true in some regions, it's definitely not true in India. According to a 2014 census, there are at least 8,600 leopards in India, and 30 to 40% of them are panthers. So, do you think panthers are relatively common, or are they truly rare animals? Share your thoughts below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. See? Yeah.